Set for the Wildcats and the Bulldogs. Kellen Binder, pleased to be joined now by head varsity volleyball coach Megan McQuarrie. Megan, awesome start to your season so far. You guys are rolling coming into this one, and a special night here on a Monday night for your girls playing Otsego.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited to be here tonight to play some competitive volleyball and for a cause at that.
Absolutely. We'll get into the X's and O's and then get to that cause in just a moment. Certainly a special cause here tonight. But the Bulldogs pose an interesting challenge athletically against your girls, but you've got some staunch players on your roster that I think match up well with those Bulldogs.
Agreed. I think the biggest thing for us tonight is going to be focusing on maintaining our level of play and controlling the tone of the match. That's something that we've kind of struggled with thus far. We often will play to our opponent instead of playing what I call Mattawan volleyball. So that's our goal tonight, is to set the tone of the match and be able to execute appropriately.
A couple of successful tournaments for both sides. What's your biggest challenge that you see posed by Otsego?
I think the biggest challenge that we'll pose is transitioning the speed of the game from what we saw this weekend. We faced some top-level Division I teams on Saturday, and Otsego, while competitive, it's just a different pace. And so having to adjust without having a practice in between to the pursuit of a different speed of balls is going to be the biggest thing for us tonight.
You've got a good mix of upperclassmen and some good leadership. Who's the girls, or is there a group of girls or individual girls that you're kind of leaning on as you're moving through this season and playing these types of opponents week to week?
Absolutely. I think primarily our four captains. So that's 3 seniors and the junior, Cecilia Pulak. She is definitely our go-to offensively. Right behind her would be senior right side Rachel Meininger. They both bring threat offensively. Livia Dockstader is our setter. And she gives us this sense of calm. And then Olivia Pierce, our libero, is by far our most consistent passer. And we are actually going to be forced to play without her this evening, so that will pose a bit of a challenge. But she's here on the bench supporting her team, and will be able to provide that feedback and support her team through this feat.
Just as important sometimes to have that coach, that extra coach on the bench with you.
Absolutely.
Although you'd love to have her out on the court.
Of course.
For sure. We're talking with head coach McQuarrie as we get set for the Wildcats and the Bulldogs coming up. You mentioned it at the interview. A very special cause here tonight in suicide prevention and awareness. Tonight's benefit goes to the Griffin Place. Everybody who's in this area in Southwest Michigan knows the Griffin Place. Very important work that they do. Talk about the message that you've been delivering to your team up to this point and to tonight, using sports as a vehicle for this important cause.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that mental health and suicide prevention has been a big focus for me personally, just from personal experience in losing my father to suicide. We also had some players directly impacted by that this past spring. And then COVID brings a whole nother layer that these young athletes have been having to manage and work through their daily life and the mental struggles. And so being student athletes, they are the focus of most high schools. And so to see that they are here, they are supporting the suicide prevention, that's going to give their peers somebody that they know they can trust, they can go to, and that can support them if they themselves are experiencing difficult times. And I think that our girls, while it's emotional, are very excited that they are going to be at the forefront of this.
Exciting matchup coming up. Certainly the cause behind it just as important, if not more so, and it's a great way to use sports as that vehicle to continue to propel that cause forward. So we thank you for hosting this here tonight, hosting a worthy opponent in Otsego, and really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Coach McQuarrie, thank you. Go Wildcats.
Good luck to the Mattawan Wildcats from the staff and management at Main Street Pub. Mattawan's local stop for food and fun. For 20 years, Main Street Pub has been the official pregame and postgame stop of the Mattawan Wildcats, offering salads, soups, and chili, taps, sandwiches, wraps, flatbreads, main courses, and their famous gourmet burgers. Order online for pickup or stop in. We're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and don't forget, Main Street Pub gift cards make great gifts. Main Street Pub, exit 66, just north of I-94. Go Wildcats!
Set for the opening serve of Wildcats volleyball. It's the Wildcats and the Bulldogs. That's coming up after this timeout on the Wildcats Volleyball Network.
Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy?
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. He just found out how much equity we have in our house.
What's equity?
It means our house is worth more money now than when we bought it.
How much more?
A lot more! Like a new garage more, a new home office more.
A new kitchen more?
Yes!
A new game room more!
New swing set more!
A new she-shed more!
A trampoline more!
A swimming pool more!
A new swimming pool more!
And with Honor Credit Union's 12-month introductory rates on a home equity line of credit starting as low as 0.99% APR or a home equity loan as low as 2.99% APR, we might just do it all.
Yes!
A new pony more!
You put a lot of
For
thought
more
into
information, contact 800-44...
Window and door, they put a lot of care into making it just right. They've been doing it that way for over 50 years. It's names like Craftsman, the #1 name in cabinetry that provides unmatched quality every step of the way. At Hannibal, they think quality should come standard. It's why they include a host of sought-after features at no extra cost. From traditional to contemporary, from new construction to renovation, trust Craftmade and the experts at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, 9th Street off M43, Kalamazoo. Hundreds of vehicles. Tapper has them. 3 Paw locations. Tapper has them. Looking for Buick, Chevy, or GMC? Tapper has them. Looking for Ford F-150, Ford Escape Explorer, or the reimagined Bronco? Tapper has them. 3 Paw locations with new and pre-owned vehicles, expert service, and on-the-spot financing. Tapper has them. Tapper Buick, Chevy, and GMC. Tapper Ford. And Tapper Budget Cars off Red Arrow Highway. Get to the Paw exit 60 off I-94. Tapper Automotive, proud sponsor of the Mattawan Wildcats.
From finding your perfect home to lowering monthly payments or getting cash out, Ron Rogers at Ruoff Mortgage is here to help. As a senior loan officer, Ron has been providing customers with straight talk and sound advice for 27 years at Ruoff Mortgage. He's conveniently located in Niles, but can meet you at any Ruoff Mortgage location around our area. Visit his website, ruoff.com/Ron Rogers, or give him a call today at 269-449-0754.
Beautiful rendition of the national anthem as we are about to get underway with this volleyball match tonight between the Mattawan Wildcats and the Otsego Bulldogs. Mattawan coming in at 14-9, Otsego 12-3. We talked to head coach Megan McQuarrie for her preview and her thought on tonight's contest and some interesting insights from the coach, of course, loving the senior leadership and a lot of seniors, headlined by CC Pilak. 226 kills, 23 service aces from number 8, one of the leaders and one of the captains. Amy Jacob in that conversation as well. 24 service aces, leads the team. Olivia Pierce is a bit of the story in that coach revealed to us that she's injured, so she's going to be an extra coach on the bench, and Coach McQuarrie will certainly take that. But at libero, going to miss her presence out on the course, but Olivia Pierce going to be sitting this one out. as they get the introductions underway. Of course, Mattawan coached by Megan McCory, assistant coach Marissa McCory, and a special presentation ahead of this one honoring their father, and tonight benefiting Griffin Place, putting a match together to raise money for Griffin Place for suicide prevention and awareness. Something very near and dear to the McCory family, and great to have this match come to fruition. She called it the first annual and hopefully the first of many annual such events to honor a great cause. On the other side of things for Otsego, the Bulldogs coming in at 12-3. They've got a good mix of underclassmen. They got a couple of juniors, and they're headlined by two seniors, Caitlin Pacino and Izzy Gregory at middle blocker and outside hitter, as the two coaches meet at midcourt and shake hands. The player introductions underway, and we've got the best seat in the house. We're glad you're with us on the Mattawan Sports Network. The hype video going on below my broadcast position, and that being presented as we speak, getting everybody pumped up here. The players done special warm-ups today, purple warm-ups with teal lettering, suicide prevention and awareness colors, and coaches donning those shirts as we speak. Players in the more traditional uniforms. Otsego going with the blue and white striped jerseys, the blue numerals, and navy blue shorts. For the Wildcats on the far side of our broadcast position in the far court, donning the navy uniforms, white striping. And the hype video getting the den across from us hyped up. Great student section contingent to cheer on their Lady Wildcats, and an awesome crowd on hand for this one. We are about to get underway. Carolyn Binder, glad to have you along with us on the Mattawan Sports Network. We've got volleyball tonight and football back on the docket coming up Friday. A surprise day or week off in terms of a game last week with the opponent under COVID quarantine, and certainly hope for health and safety for Riley South Bend, but on Portage Northern for the football team. But first, let's play volleyball. McCory hyping up her new libero. Ellie Cairns taking that spot, the sophomore in the special pink jersey. Wildcats will have the serve. Kendall Kuhn on the far side from us, about to get underway, and here we go. Overhand serve, up and over. The dish goes middle, returned by the Wildcats. And the winner off of Otsego bounced off the back line. Point to the Bulldogs, and they lead it early on, 1-0. Caitlin Pacino with the serve, and the return winner by Kendall Kuhn ties things up 1 apiece. Last time at home for the Wildcats, a 5-set thriller, 3-2 over the St. Joe Bears. Amy Jacob, mentioned her in the pregame, leads the team with service aces. This is returned, almost dug, and could not come up with it off the hands of Amy Jacob. We'll rotate Grace Blanchard out for the Bulldogs. And Pacino with the serve, that over the block. And they're going to say Otsego blocked the net. And so point to the Wildcats, ties it up 2 apiece. First team to 25 for the set will play the best of 5, the first to 3 sets. And if we go to that 5th set, as Rachel Meininger with the crush home gives the Wildcats the lead. If we go to that 5th and decisive set as we did last week, that goes to the best of 15. There's no ceiling, got to be up by 2. And the Wildcats lead it early in the first set, 3-2. Great get at the net. Cece Pilak puts her team up by 2, 4-2 now for the Wildcats. Olivia Dockstader with the overhand, and that won't reach the net. So give Otsego the point there, 4-3. Allie Aldrich, now the sophomore libero, lines up at the service line. Overhand again, tried to get the return that time. Pilak a little flat-footed and did not cross the net. So Bulldogs tie it up at 4. Early going, first set. Aldrich to her counterpart for the Wildcats. Block at the net goes to Otsego, and Bulldogs cannot return it. Can't handle that one. Wildcats back on top, 5-4. McCory talked about the importance of her girls playing Mattawan volleyball and certainly keeping the pace here. That one getting the friendly roll for Otsego. Skying for the put away, Jenna Ballman ties it up at 5. Ballman, the junior, set to serve. The lefty with the little hop serve, tried to get a quick set at the net. And Mattawan could not respond, so Otsego takes the lead, 6-5. Ballman again, the little hop step serve, and again, no response from Mattawan. That's almost like they're having trouble reading it off the left hand of Ballman. It's spinning in the opposite direction, and twice Ellie Cairns tripped up. Ballman going that way again. Cairns able to handle it that time. Skying for the put away was Pilak, but just long. And now Otsego opening up a 3-point lead here, 8-5. Ballman gets it to Pilak. Pilak can't answer. And shot block by the Bulldogs expands their lead to 4, 9-5. A little bit of a surprise. Cece Pilak usually pretty consistent at the net. And how about this? Jenna Ballman with the service ace that time. Now the Bulldogs doubling up the Wildcats, 10-5. And Jenna Ballman is on a hot streak. Pilak tries to respond. They'll dig it over. Back to their libero, and how about that block at the net? The hero that time for the Wildcats, Sydney Penny, skying for the block. And that cuts off a Jenna Ballman run that went 5 points, 10-6 now the lead for Otsego. Ellie Cairns into serve. Otsego skips it across, set up for Whedon. She gets it over to Ballman, and Ballman can't quite get high enough. That's into the net. Wildcats trail 10-7. Karen's up with the right hand. She spins it in. Service ace. Bunch of Bulldogs camped out around that one. I think they thought it was going to sail long, and it just made the end line. And a little bit of a comeback now for Karen's. She's serving trailing 10-8. And that one did sail long. So same game plan for Otsego. It paid off that time for the Bulldogs sitting on that serve. They'll lead it 11-8. Grace Blanchard rotates in for McCammon, and she serves it. We'll dip at the net for Mattawan. Back and forth we go. The setup for Otsego. Pacino puts it away. Or check that. She sailed it long. Pacino could not thread the needle that time. And so point to Mattawan. Wildcats trail 11-9 early first set. Kendall Kuhn into serve. She skies into the air, gives it the overhead. Great block at the net by the Wildcats. They'll try it again, go for the double team. Spread it out. Pilak, beautiful overhand, unable to finish. There's Karen's. Sets it up for the little dip and dunk to Kuhn. She puts it away. And the Wildcats right back in this thing, trailing by 5. Just a few plays ago, they've clawed back into this. 11-10 Otsego. And that ties it up. Anya Shashelski to serve. Tied up at 11. We're in the first set from Wildcat Gymnasium. The Wildcats and the Bulldogs doing battle on the volleyball court. Great setup. Not able to finish was Kuhn. Skies it to the end line for Otsego. We'll set up Kuhn again. Great defense by the Bulldogs. Here comes Libero around the end line. Shashelski recovers. Pops it over. Block at the net. And they're going to say Mattawan too close to the net. So point to Otsego. 12-11. Early goings here, first set. Olivia Dennis, the server now for Otsego. The bump over the net for the Bulldogs will set it up right to Cece. She couldn't finish. Kuhn able to get the rebound and stuffed it home. Ties things up at 12. Coach McQuarrie really liked this matchup with Otsego from an athletic standpoint. We're seeing the similarities there. The block on Gregory. Amy Jacob able to overpower Gregory, and the Wildcats back on top. 13-12. Kendall Kuhn rotates in to serve. Great save on the end line by Aldrich for the Bulldogs. Tried for the stuff and got it. Cece Pilak puts her Wildcats back on top by 2. 14-12. Kendall Kuhn sails the serve with her right hand. Otsego tried through the double team at the net. Sails it long. Now the Wildcats building a lead, 15-12. Kuhn centers the serve. Spins it over the net. Nice dig for the Wildcats. Little dip and dunk at the net. Bulldogs trying to put it away on a double team. Cairns sails it over. Here comes Otsego right side. Back to Cairns. She skies it. And just over the outstretched fingertips with the winner was Jacob. And Otsego going to take a timeout as the Wildcats have built a 4-point lead, 16-12. We'll be back with more of the first set after this timeout on the Mattawan Wildcats Network.
You put a lot of thought into your kitchen and bath, so at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, they put a lot of care into making it just right. They've been doing it that way for over 50 years. It's names like Craftmade, the #1 name in cabinetry that provides unmatched quality every step of the way. At Hannibal, they think quality should come standard. It's why they include a host of sought-after features at no extra cost. From traditional to contemporary, from new construction to renovation, trust Craftmade and the experts at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, 9th Street off M43, Kalamazoo.
16-12, the lead that Mattawan has built before the Otsego timeout. Megan McQuarrie's crew playing Wildcat Volleyball, and that was her focus this week in practice, getting back to playing at their pace and certainly doing so through the mid-section of this first set. Cecilia Pilak with the serve. And Mattawan unable to handle the return. 16-13, Sydney Holland into serve. And Pilak comes back right at the antenna for the put-away crush. Pilak, a huge part of that 5-set thriller last week over St. Joe. Now Amy Jacob into serve. Threading the needle on the return is the Bulldogs, 17-14. Amy Jacob leads the Wildcats in aces, 24 on the team. Pilak warming herself up. She leads the team in kills with 226. She's got a couple already in this one. She's at the net. Gets that one back over. Stands tall with Sydney Penny that time. Tried to kill it was Penny and unable to get it over the net. 17-15 now in favor of the Wildcats. Otsego serving. This is Paseno. And she can't get the net. Does not get the friendly roll. Hits the Mattawan Wildcats logo right at the top of the net. 18-15 point to Mattawan. Olivia Dockstader gives it the overhand right hand. 18-15 in favor of Mattawan. Sets it up for Pilak, unable to hit that home. And the double hit called on Mattawan. Student section across from us in the den doesn't like the call, but nonetheless 18-16 in favor of Mattawan. This is Aldrich serving for Otsego. Set up for Penny. She gives it the overhand into the corner. And McCammon can't handle it there. Point to Mattawan. 19-16 now. Pilak serving for Mattawan. 19-16, first set. The varsity volleyball match honoring suicide prevention and awareness. Cross court, Meininger couldn't hammer it home. Bulldogs float it over the entire Mattawan defense. Jana Ballman credited there. 19-17 now after the point to Otsego. And Ballman, the lefty, she's the one that ran up an early lead for the Bulldogs. This time Mattawan responds. They send it cross court. And just low enough that it could not be returned by Ballman. 2017 now, point to Mattawan. And Ellie Cairns, the sophomore, with the libero jersey tonight. She sends it over with the right hand. Otsego tried to put it away. And great defense by Mattawan. Put it right at the feet of Aldrich, and all she could do was try and dig it out, and it hit the bench. 21-17 now, Wildcats. Karen's one of the shorter players out there. She's got a good spin serve. That returned that time just inside the end line. And so point to Otsego, 21-18. Two very evenly matched teams through this first set. Grace Blanchard set to serve. And all Pilac could do on the return was try and dig it off her shoe tops. Could not do so. Point to Otsego, 21-19. This one right to Kuhn. She gets it across, sets up for Meininger. Can't put it away. Here come the Bulldogs. Back over through the block, and that crushed back to the Mattawan side. Over to Cairns. Sets it up for Pilac. This is Meininger. And there's Meininger again after Pilac gave her a nice pass right at the top of the net. She dunked it home. 22-19 now for the Wildcats. 3 points away from the opening set. Anya Shashelski in to serve. The hop jump, could not get it through the block. On the return, point to Mattawan. And the Bulldogs going to take another timeout. Mattawan poised for this opening set. 23-19. We'll step aside and be back with more volleyball after this on the Mattawan Sports Network.
Good luck to the Mattawan Wildcats from the staff and management at Main Street Pub, Mattawan's local stop for food and fun. For 20 years, Main Street Pub has been the official pregame and postgame stop of the Mattawan Wildcats, offering salads, soups, and chili, taps, sandwiches, wraps, and flatbreads, main courses, and their famous gourmet burgers. Order online for pickup or stop in. We're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And don't forget, Main Street Pub gift cards make great gifts. Main Street Pub, exit 66, just north of I-94. Go Wildcats!
23-19 in favor of Mattawan out of the second Otsego timeout in this set. A quick timeout chat for Coach Danny Little as Anya Shashelski poised to serve. Threads the end line, and unable to return it with the left hand was Ballman. And now set point for the Wildcats, 24-19. Krzyzewski with the running jump on the serve. Otsego seems to be tripped up at that mid-court, tried to put the killer away, and does so. So a little bit of life left for the Bulldogs off the right hand of Olivia Dennis. And she'll serve it with Mattawan leading 24-20. Pilac with the put away, and that's the first set to Mattawan. A strong showing by the home team in set number one. The Wildcats take it 25-20. They overcome a early 5-point deficit, and strong defense brings them back in that opening set. They lead at 25-20. We'll be back with set number two after this on the Mattawan Sports Network.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy?
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. He just found out how much equity we have in our house.
What's equity?
It means our house is worth more money now than when we bought it.
How much more?
A lot more! Like a new garage more, a new home office more.
A new kitchen more?
Yes!
A new game room more!
New swing set more!
A new she-shed more!
A trampoline more! A swimming pool more!
A new swimming pool more!
And with Honor Credit Union's 12-month introductory rates on a home equity line of credit starting as low as 0.99% APR or a home equity loan as low as 2.99% APR, we might just do it all.
Yes!
A new pony more! Whatever. For more information, contact 800-442-2800. Terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer. Subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity. Insured by NCUA.
Nice job, honey.
Piece of cake.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From finding your perfect home to lowering monthly payments or getting cash out, Ron Rogers at Ruoff Mortgage is here to help. As a senior loan officer, Ron has been providing customers with straight talk and sound advice for 27 years at Ruoff Mortgage. He's conveniently located in Niles, but can meet you at any Ruoff Mortgage location around our area. Visit his website, ruoff.com/Ron Rogers, or give him a call today at 269-449-0754.
First set in the books from Wildcats Gymnasium. Carolyn Binder back with you. 25-20 in the first set for Mattawan. Ellie Cairns helped dig her team out of a first set hole with some good serving. On the other side of the story, Jenna Ballman, 5 straight points put the Bulldogs up by 5, unable to hold that lead. And Mattawan takes set number 1, 25-20. We're underway, getting set underway for set number 2. That's 3 out of 5. And the Bulldogs, Ellie Aldrich, getting set to open our second frame. The running serve is long. And first point of the second set will go to the home team. Jordan Arnold now for the Wildcats. Sends it over with her right hand. Setup goes near side. This is Pisano. Back to CC Pilak. And she's starting to warm up. We didn't hear much from her until later in that opening set. Huge asset to this team. Coach talked about it, and a huge part of the last home victory in the 5-set thriller here at Wildcats Gymnasium. That one spun to the top of the net and not over for the Bulldogs. And Mattawan building an early 3-point lead in the second set. This is Arnold on serve. She handles the return, sets up Pilak in the corner, and CC puts it away. 4 straight points now for Mattawan. They lead it 4-0, second set. First set to the Wildcats, 25-20. Trying to keep this momentum going. The soft touch for Otsego there. And they crack the scoreboard in the second frame, 4-1. Sydney Holland now the junior setter for first serving action. From the right side corner, Pilak couldn't get it over the block. She'll try it again, but with the single hand slam, that's Haley Grant with the put away. And after Mattawan tallied off 4 straight points, the Bulldogs with a couple of their own. Mattawan leads 4-2, second set, and up a set. CC Pilak puts that one where nobody could find it. Sydney Holland took a hard dive, almost face planted into the court. Looks to be okay though. Sprung right back up. Danny Little checking her out. No nosebleed. So back to action we go. 5-2 Wildcats. And the soft touch serve. Service ace. Amy Jacob. Who else would it be? She leads the team in service aces, getting her first of this match. 6-2 in favor of the Wildcats. This time Otsego able to get it across right on the near line, and Wildcats couldn't handle it. That's hit back to the den, and Otsego now trailing 6-3. Holland in at serve, and that time a huge put away. Dockstader set up by Penny, and Olivia hammers it home. 7-3 now Wildcats. Second set, Dockstader takes her place on the far side corner to serve. Otsego unable to handle the return. Point to Mattawan. They lead it by 5. Second set, 8-3. Dockstader gets it near side. Otsego trying to get through the block. Great defense by Mattawan. Almost put it home was Meininger. Otsego responded. She'll try it again. Great setup. But just long. So point to Otsego, and the Bulldogs stay alive. 8-4. Haley Grano with her first serves of the game, unable to find the other side of the net. 9-4 now in favor of the Wildcats. CC Pilak will take her place on the service line, and she stays flat-footed on that overhand. Hits the tape, and point to Otsego. 9-5 now in favor of the Wildcats. Jenna Ballman, who caused some trouble in the first set, serving for the Bulldogs. No ace this time. In fact, Kuhn returned it near side, and they'll say Otsego hit the net. So point to the Wildcats, 10-5. And the serving story of the first set for Mattawan, Ellie Cairns in to serve. She gets it over almost directly into the net, but still in play. 10-5 in favor of the Wildcats. And they'll call that. Bulldogs touch the net again. Check that. They're going to, I think, replay the point. They haven't put a point up on the board yet. Head coach for Mattawan, Megan McQuarrie, wanted to talk about it a bit, so they do replay the point. 10-5 in favor of Mattawan. And the up ref calls that one out. So Mattawan with the point anyway after they replayed it, expands their lead to 6, 11-5. Karen's still in the serve. gets it across. The bump over the net from Ballman and could not be handled by Kendall Kuhn. Just a little short on the return. Point to Otsego. 11-6, second set. First set to Mattawan, 25-20. Ellie Cairns with a service gem in that first set after Mattawan trailed by as many as 5. Clawed their way back and took the first set 25-20. This is Blanchard serving. Skying the return is Mattawan. Cecilia Pilak puts it right where Otsego can't get it. Point to the Wildcats. Anya Shashelski rotates in to serve. Shashelski with the little jump serve. And the double hit on the net for Otsego kind of floats that serve over the net. And I think Otsego was thrown off by the timing, unable to return Shashelski's serve. And Mattawan leads it 13-6, second set. Up a set in this one. Timeout Otsego will take a timeout as well. This is Mattawan Volleyball on the Mattawan Sports Network.
You put a lot of thought into your kitchen and bath, so at Hannibal Kitchen Bath Window and Door, they put a lot of care into making it just right. They've been doing it that way for over 50 years. It's names like Craftsmade, the #1 name in cabinetry that provides unmatched quality every step of the way. At Hannibal, they think quality should come standard. It's why they include a host of sought-after features at no extra cost. From traditional to contemporary, from new construction to renovation, trust Craftsmade and the experts at Hannibal Kitchen Bath Window and Door, 9th Street off M43, Kalamazoo.
13-6 in favor of Mattawan here. Second set, Carolyn Binder rejoining you atop Wildcats Stadium. The Wildcats have a set in the books, 25-20 in the opening frame. Shashelski out of the timeout will serve it for the Wildcats. Bulldogs doing some strategizing in that timeout. Olivia Dennis floats it over the net. And Pilak with the kill. Point to Mattawan, 14-6. Shelsky staying on serve. Set up for the Bulldogs. This is Holland. Threads the top of the tape, and Mattawan could not respond. 14-7 now after that point to Otsego. This is Aldrich serving for the Bulldogs, trailing Mattawan 14-7. CC Pilak with the kill. Who else? Just too good. 15-7 now in favor of the Wildcats. Bringing some momentum into this one. 14-9 overall on the season. This is Arnold serving for the Wildcats. Teams meet at the tape. Mattawan gets it over. And how about that move? Drawing everybody near side. Grant shoved the ball over the net exactly where nobody could get to it. 15-8 in favor of Mattawan. Point to Otsego that time. Grant with the serve. And 2 straight points here as Ballman hammers that home for the Bulldogs. Holland serving for Otsego. 15-9, second set in favor of Mattawan. Pilak says, enough of that. She plants herself right at midcourt there and hammers that one home. 16-9. Now point for Mattawan. Amy Jacobs serving for the Wildcats. At the net through the block. Great move by Otsego. Haley Grant looks very comfortable at the net. Point to Otsego, 16-10. Things shifted in the first set a little bit earlier. We're at 16-10. Can Otsego mount a little comeback like Mattawan did in the first set? Thread the far side boundary, and Otsego gets it home, 16-11. Pacino with the serve. Great block by Mattawan at the net. They're going to try it again. Too tough is Jenna Ballman. And just like the Mattawan Wildcats staged a comeback in the first set, Otsego returning the favor. They were trailing 16-10, now 16-12. And Pilak threading the near side boundary. Again, putting a stop to that, saying enough of this. Let's play some Mattawan volleyball. And she'll hand it over to Olivia Dockstader. The Wildcats lead it 17-12, second set, up a set, 25-20. Ballman that time off the return. Not quite high enough with the set. Hits the tape, 18-12 in favor of Mattawan. They'll set it for Aldrich, who cannot find the other side of the net on the kill. 19-12. Dockstader still serving, and how about that spin in for Dockstader? Again, kind of spinning it in to the far side corner, just out of the reach and the shoe tops of their libero there. And another ace. 2 in a row. And the lead balloons to 9 for Mattawan in the second set. 21-20. Otsego going to take another timeout. We will do so as well and be back with more volleyball action from Wildcat Gymnasium after this on the Mattawan Sports Network.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Head coach Megan McQuarrie for the Mattawan Wildcats. A lot of talk about her leader, Cece Pilak, and she has awoken here in the second set. Olivia Dockstader to serve. Wildcats lead at 21-12 out of the timeout, second set. Mattawan up a set. And how about that setup for Rachel Meininger? Crushes it home. Right in between two Bulldogs. And this is the largest lead of the match for either team, 22-12 now. A couple of aces for Dockstader, and that one sails along. So point to Otsego. But cinch the fire hose for Mattawan, up 22-13. And Garant in to serve for the Bulldogs. Through the block, this is Mattawan. Great defense at the net by the Wildcats. Unable to handle the return is Otsego, so point to Mattawan. And 2 points away from taking a two-set lead. Hayden Reagan in for his first serves. Otsego wisely lets that one sail along. So Reagan's service game short-lived. But the Wildcats own a 9-point lead, 23-14. second set. Great setup and great finish by Rachel Meininger on the return that time. Puts the Wildcats back up by 10, 24-14. And the service hero in the first set for Mattawan into serve here, Ellie Cairns. Spins it in. Return is skied. Mattawan has it. And just far enough on the angle. Hit the antenna, did Meininger on the return. So point to Otsego. Grace Blanchard in to serve as Mattawan leads it 24-15. Set point for the Wildcats. And Olivia Dockstader puts that one home. 25-15 the final in set 2. And that puts the Wildcats up 2-0 in this one. We'll take a timeout and be back with the third set after this on the Mattawan Sports Network.
Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy?
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. He just found out how much equity we have in our house.
What's equity?
It means our house is worth more money now than when we bought it.
How much more?
A lot more! Like a new garage more, a new home office more.
A new kitchen more?
Yes!
A new game room more!
New swing set more!
A new she-shed more!
A trampoline more!
A swimming pool more!
A new swimming pool more!
And with Honor Credit Union's 12-month introductory rates on a home equity line of credit starting as low as 0.99% APR or a home equity loan as low as 2.99% APR, we might just do it all.
Yes!
A new pony more! Whatever. For more information, contact 800-442-2800. Terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer. Subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity. Insured by NCUA.
Nice job, honey.
Piece of cake.
Good luck to the Mattawan Wildcats from the staff and management at Main Street Pub, Mattawan's local stop for food and fun. For 20 years, Main Street Pub has been the official pregame and postgame stop of the Mattawan Wildcats, offering salads, soups and chili, naps, sandwiches, wraps, flatbreads, main courses, and their famous gourmet burgers. Order online for pickup or stop in. We're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And don't forget, Main Street Pub gift cards make great gifts. Main Street Pub, exit 66, just north of I-94. Go Wildcats!
From finding your perfect home to lowering monthly payments or getting cash out, Ron Rogers at Ruoff Mortgage is here to help. As a senior loan officer, Ron has been providing customers with straight talk and sound advice for 27 years at Ruoff Mortgage. He's conveniently located in Niles, but can meet you at any Ruoff Mortgage location around our area. Visit his website, ruoff.com/Ron Rogers, or give him a call today at 269-449-0754.
Hundreds of vehicles. Tapper has them. 3 Paw locations. Tapper has them. Looking for Buick, Chevy, or GMC? Tapper has them. Looking for Ford F-150, Ford Escape Explorer, or the reimagined Bronco? Tapper has them. 3 Paw locations with new and pre-owned vehicles, expert service, and on-the-spot financing. Tapper has them. Tapper Buick, Chevy, and GMC. Tapper Ford. And Tapper budget cars off Red Arrow Highway. Get to the Paw exit 60 off I-94. Tapper Automotive, proud sponsor of the Mattawan Wildcats.
Carolyn Binder rejoining you from Mattawan Gymnasium, getting set for set number 3 between the Wildcats and the Bulldogs. Mattawan with a 2-0 lead, 25-20 and 25-15. Jordan Arnold, the senior, starting on serve for the Wildcats. And she earns the first point, with Otsego unable to return her first serve. Can't find the other side of the net on the second point. So Otsego ties it up early in the third set, 1 apiece for Otsego. This is Blanchard serving through the block. And Jenna Ballman puts it away over a couple of Wildcats at the net. Bulldogs with the early third set lead. Sydney Holland in to serve, and her first serve, a service ace for the junior setter. And she's floating that ball right to the front line. Mattawan kind of giving her some space there a couple of times, and it's paying off for Otsego. Holland now with 3 straight points, and the Bulldogs have built an early third set lead, 4-1. And again, Holland playing some strategy with her serves. Not a lot of spin, not a lot of speed on it, just placing it very well. Another service ace for her there. 5-1 now, the third set lead for the Bulldogs. Here comes Mattawan with Cairns setting up for Pilock. She floats it across for the return. Otsego over the block for Mattawan. And here comes Pilock. Tries to hammer it home and sends it wide on the far side. So Bulldogs clicking early in this third set. They trail 2-0. But Sydney Holland becoming the early headline for Otsego in this third set. Bulldogs lead it 6-1. Pilock with the single hand put away try. And that falls out of bounds. 7-1 now. The advantage for the Bulldogs in the third set. That time Holland floats it short and a little too short, so her run ends at 7 points. But Sydney Holland, great effort on serve for the Bulldogs. Now Mattawan serves trailing 7-2, up 2 sets. And great setup there for Sydney Penny, unable to float it home. Pilock tried for the kill, that was blocked. Here come the Bulldogs from the far side corner. This is Holland, can't put it away. Arnold with the overhead, and that's skied by the Bulldogs. Too many Bulldogs at the net. And point goes to Mattawan. (7-3) in favor of Otsego. Set number 3, Mattawan leads it 2-0. Sydney Pilock tried for the put away and put too much gas on that one. The emotional, the physical leader of this team, no doubt, and tried to hammer that one home just a bit too far. So Otsego has it. Caitlin Pacino on serve. That time Pilock found the line. Point to Mattawan. 8-4 in favor of Otsego. Mattawan leads it 2-0. This is Dockstader serving now. And she had a couple of service aces. That time the return for Otsego floated long. 8-5 now for Otsego, but Dockstader, if she dials in, she can wipe this lead clean. Otsego through the block. Meininger there to tap it over. Set up here for Meininger, tries to go far side, couldn't find the boundary. And point to Otsego. 9-5 now for the Bulldogs. Third set. Allie Aldridge, the sophomore libero jersey on her tonight. The blue libero jersey for the Bulldogs. And she sends a zinger to the far side corner. A great response by Mattawan. Pilock kind of just brushed it off her shoe tips, her shoelaces, I should say, and put it right in the far side corner. That just enough for the point. And here comes Hayden Reagan for the serve. She skies with the overhead. 9-6 in favor of Otsego, but a kill for Sydney Penny brings Mattawan within 2, 9-7. The Wildcats have 2 sets in the bag, 25-20 and 25-15. The jump serve for Reagan that time into the net. 10-7 now for Otsego. Jenna Ballman takes her place at the service line. The lefty causing trouble in the opening set, and Karen's unable to handle the return. A service ace for Ballman. Saw a few of those in the opening frame. 5 straight points on serve, a couple of service aces in there. This time gets it over to Reagan. Reagan bumps it up over the net. Set up for McCammon. And she hammers it home for Otsego. 12-7 now for the Bulldogs, third set. Ballman with the left hand spins it in to Reagan. She goes to her knees, gets it across, and here come the Bulldogs. McCammon can't finish. Set up. This is Pelak. She can't get it done. Keeping it alive, that's Karen's. Behind her back over the net. Pelak tried to dump it in. They'll set it up. This is Doc Stater with the quick set. And Otsego can't get through the block. Rachel Meininger and Sydney Penny, just an absolute wall at that net. They'll credit Meininger with the put away. 12-8 now in favor of Otsego in this third set. Ballman doing some housekeeping on the court. With the towel. And here's Ellie Cairns serving with the Wildcats trailing 12-8. Now, they thought they called it on the double bump, the double hit on Otsego, but the ball kept alive, ultimately dropping on the Bulldogs side. So point to Mattawan. 12-9. Cairns would like to stage another service comeback for her team. Kill for Olivia Dennis puts an end to that thought for Cairns. And the Bulldogs take a 13-9 third set lead. Mattawan up 2-0. Here come the Wildcats. Great setup and finish by Meininger that time. Krzyzewski checking in. Meininger taking a seat. And Anya will set up to serve. She spins it in her left hand, sends it flying with the right. Not a lot of spin, almost tripping up the Bulldogs as they gather around it. Quick set over the net, and just far enough out of the reach of Cairns. Point to Otsego. 14-10 now for the Bulldogs. Olivia Dennis with the overhead serve. And miscommunication for the Bulldogs. Mattawan will take advantage. Amy Jacob, Hayden Reagan simply put it where no Bulldogs were. And cuts this lead to 3 in the third set. 14-11 in favor of Otsego. Mattawan up 2-0. And Jordan Arnold serving for Mattawan. That one sails long on the return for Otsego. point to Mattawan, 14-12. And we'll call this a pivotal point in the third set, pivotal point in the match. Great response by Haley Grant. She's come alive when the Bulldogs have needed it. A little spark for her, hammers it right at Cairns, and Ellie unable to handle it. Point to Otsego, 15-12 in favor of the visitors in this third set. But a great response by Amy Jacob for the Wildcats on the middle block. Hammers that home. And the Wildcats now trail 15-13. And the ace in the back pocket of Coach Megan, unable to get it done there. Amy Jacob leads the team in service aces, but Otsego had the response. Sydney Holland with the put away for the Bulldogs. And Pisano into serve. She can't reach the net. Dockstader into serve. 16-14 in favor of Otsego. Third set, Mattawan owns a 2-0 lead. Dockstader, another service ace in the pocket of Mattawan, but Otsego again able to respond, floating that one over the net, threading the near boundary. And they'll keep their lead at 3, 17-14. Third set, Allie Aldrich serving with the jump serve and the great block at the net, put away by Ballman. Olivia Dennis in on that as well. 18-14 now for Otsego. Mattawan up 2-0. Here they'll set up Pilak for the put away. Cece Pilak. We've said her name just enough tonight to make the difference for Mattawan. Heard her name a whole lot in that 5-set thriller over St. Joe last week. And she keeps her team within 3, 18-15. Now Reagan in to serve, and she spins it in. No return for Otsego. Cuts the lead to 2, 18-16. Reagan, the sophomore, sails that long. So point to Otsego, 19-16 now for the Bulldogs. Mattawan up 2-0. As Ballman takes her position on the service line. Tried to set up for Kuhn, and she sails that long for the Wildcats. And Mattawan going to take a timeout as Otsego has a 4-point lead, 20-16 third set. We'll take a timeout as well. Be back with more of the third frame after this on the Mattawan Sports Network.
Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy?
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. He just found out how much equity we have in our house.
What's equity?
It means our house is worth more money now than when we bought it.
How much more?
A lot more! Like a new garage more, a new home office more.
A new kitchen more?
Yes!
A new game room more!
A new swing set more!
A new she-shed more!
A trampoline more!
A swimming pool more!
A new swimming pool more!
And with Honor Credit Union's 12-month introductory rates on a home equity line of credit starting as low as 0.99% APR or a home equity loan as low as 2.99% APR, we might just do it all.
Yes!
A new pony more! Whatever. For more information, contact 800-442-2800. Terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer. Subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity. Insured by NCUA.
Nice job, honey.
Piece of cake.
Mattawan head coach Megan McQuarrie taking all of the 60 seconds of that timeout as her team trails 20-16. Third set. Wildcats own a 2-0 lead. And still can't figure out the serves of Jenna Ballman. She was the story for Otsego in the first set. 5 straight points on serve helped the Bulldogs build a substantial lead early in that one. Mattawan took it 25-20. Block at the net, kept in by the Bulldogs. They'll set up. This is McCammon. McCammon can't finish. Goes to Meininger. That's dug out on the kill. Meininger gonna try it again. And just enough on that one for the point. Rachel persistent in that far corner. And it pays off. Point to Mattawan, 21-17 for the Bulldogs. And Cairns will take her place at the service line. Ellie with an effective service game herself for Mattawan in this one so far. Over the back, this is Cairns through the block. And in. Bella McCammon credited there. Grace Blanchard will come in to serve for Otsego. 22-17 in favor of the Bulldogs. That return skied by Mattawan stays in play. They'll set it up. Bump at the net. And the easy winner for Amy Jacob. Point to Mattawan, and life left in this third set for the Wildcats. 22-18 they trail. Anya Shashelski in to serve. Little jump serve, far corner, and right there for the save. Again, Jacob cleaning up the net. And Otsego gonna take a timeout as Mattawan is hanging around in this third set. The Wildcats have the first 2 sets in the books, and Otsego gonna talk about it. We'll step aside as well and be back with more of the third set after this on the Mattawan Volleyball Network.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which could only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Carolyn Binder rejoining you from Mattawan Gymnasium. We've got an interesting third set brewing. Mattawan trails Otsego 22-20. The Wildcats have the first 2 sets in the books, trying to stay alive in this one, and they do. The defense at the net standing tall. They trailed by as many as 5. 22-17. Clawing all the way back, 22-21. Krzyzewski sends it flying. Bulldogs return it, and unable to handle it was Cairns. So point to Otsego, but you felt the energy rise in this third set for the home team. After trailing at a critical stage of this third set, still a lot of volleyball left in the third set. 23-21. Wildcats unable to handle the return at the net, so now 24-21. McCory wants to talk about it some more. Set point in the third for Otsego. We'll be back after this timeout on the Mattawan Volleyball Network.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
24-21 in favor of Otsego. Set number 3. Carolyn Binder, glad to have you along with us. As Mattawan Wildcats took the first 2 sets from the Bulldogs here at home, but in trouble here in the 3rd set as Otsego trying to stay alive. Bulldogs set it up, bump it across. Mattawan on the return, trying to keep it alive is Reagan, and they can't do it. The Bulldogs stay alive in this one. A back and forth 3rd set. Both teams opening up leads of their own, but Otsego takes set number 3, 25-21, and we are going to a 4th set. We will do so after this timeout. We'll be back for set number 4 on the Mattawan Volleyball Network.
Good luck to the
What's wrong with Daddy?
He just found out how much equity we have in our house.
Equity?
It means our house is worth more money now than when we bought it.
How much more?
A lot more, like a new garage more.
A swimming pool more!
Yes!
And with Honor Credit Union's home equity line of credit starting as low as 0.99% APR, or a home equity loan as low as 2.99% APR, we might just do it all!
Limited time offer. Subject to credit. Equal housing opportunity. Insured by NCUA.
You put a lot of thought into your kitchen and bath, so at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, they put a lot of care into making it just right. They've been doing it that way for over 50 years. It's names like Craftsman, the #1 name in cabinetry that provides unmatched quality every step of the way. At Hannibal, they think quality should come standard. It's why they include a host of sought-after features at no extra cost. From traditional to contemporary, from new construction to renovation, trust Craftmade and the experts at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, 9th Street off M43, Kalamazoo.
We're heading to set number 4 from Mattawan Gymnasium. Carolyn Binder, glad you're with us for volleyball action on a Monday night between the Wildcats and the Bulldogs. Mattawan took the first 2 sets, 25-20, 25-15 respectively. Otsego storming back in that 3rd set. Both teams owning 4 and 5 point leads of their own. And ultimately, behind the strong serving of Jenna Ballman, and that defense really woke up for Otsego in that 3rd set. They took set number 3 by a 25-21 score. Some bright spots for Mattawan in the 3rd frame. Certainly CC Pilock kind of finding her groove, and certainly saw her a lot more at the net. And maybe that was a game plan between the sets for McCory, getting Pilock more involved. Certainly the anchor of this squad, as she talked about in our pre-match chat. And a special night for everyone involved, whether you're playing volleyball or watching volleyball. Absolutely special, with tonight all proceeds benefiting the Griffin Place and honoring suicide prevention and awareness, a cause near and dear to the McCory family. And this is the first annual match benefiting the Griffin Place. We're underway, set number 4. Otsego serving, and they'll get the first point of the 4th set. Ballman with the finish. Rotating in to serve is Dennis. Dennis, the sophomore middle blocker. That time from the near corner goes opposite side. Kuhn for Mattawan. Tie it up 1 apiece, 4th set. Mattawan leads it 2-1. And Kendall Kuhn takes her spot at the service line. Bumps it up. almost with the kill was Pilak. Can't finish. They'll set it up again. Pilak again denied. Dockstader shovels it over. Tries to set up for Pilak again. And again is denied on the kill. What a rally by these teams. Maybe 5th time's a charm for Kuhn. She can't finish. And this the longest rally of the match through the block. Again, Wildcats unable to convert. And Otsego going to give it a try. The setup goes for Pilak, sails that long. And the Bulldogs survive the longest rally of the match thus far. Point to the Bulldogs and 2-1, the 4th set lead for the visitors. Man, that Bulldog defense really has Pilak's number. They'll sub in after Mattawan earns that point. Ties it up 2 apiece. 4th set, Amy Jacob to serve. She leads the team in service aces this year, so a steady hand on the service line for McCory and the Wildcats. They get the point there, 3-2 now in favor of Mattawan, 4th set. Mattawan upset 2-1. Great response by the Bulldogs. Sydney Holland dishes to Grunt for the finish. Ties it up 3 apiece, 4th set. Paseno in to serve, and that crawls over the net. Got the hometown and the home team spin off the top of the tape. Point to Mattawan. The other sure hand tonight from the service line, Olivia Dockstader. Right to the little barrow for Otsego. Bulldogs punch it over off the hand of Grunt. Mattawan can't respond, ties it up at 4. Allie Aldridge, the sophomore, with the libero jersey tonight. And she starts a couple of paces back off the service line. She gets that running start and has left it short a couple of times. Does so again there, and Mattawan takes a 5-4 4th set lead. And Cece Pilak with one of the easiest service aces you're going to get, just floats it to the midline, and nobody went to get it. 6-4 now for Mattawan, 4th set. This time right into the hands of Ballman on the return. Set up for Pilak. And the finish by Meininger. So Pilak finding her groove from the service line in this 4th set. 7-4 in the 4th frame for Mattawan. And Otsego content to let that one sail long. Point to Otsego. And Jenna Ballman will get set to serve Mattawan up 7-5 4th set and up 2-1 in this match. Otsego storming back in that 3rd set to take it 25-21. Unable to connect there on the return was Otsego. Point to Mattawan. 8-5 now. Cairns, who was the service star and gets the service ace. I was going to say Cairns the service star of the 1st set. And again, Otsego kind of playing it safe, thinking, hey, that's going to sail long, would rather play that strategy, and gives Cairns the ace. Cairns the ace, 9-5. Will set up again, and Mattawan cannot return that one. 9-6 now for the Wildcats. Checking in for the Bulldogs, Grace Blanchard, the sophomore, takes her place at the service line. Set up and an easy put away for Meininger on the kill. Anya Krzyzewski checking in for Mattawan. They have a 4-point lead in this fourth set, 10-6. And Krzyzewski serves just long. Point to Otsego, 10-7 now for the Wildcats. This is about the juncture of the first two sets that Mattawan kind of started to find their groove and establish themselves. And going cross court for the winner. Great effort there by Kendall Kuhn. She'll serve now 11-7. Great setup by her teammates for the kill, and Kuhn put it away. Now they'll try to set up far side. That goes long off the attempt from Amy Jacob. Point to Otsego, 11-8. Serving, this is Holland for Otsego. Coming up is Pilak, and just saved by the Bulldogs. Great effort, and they're going to get paid for it with a point, 11-9. Bulldogs hanging around. Both teams have done this at this juncture of the set. One team opens up a lead, the other team stays around. Mattawan with the first two sets. Otsego taking set number 3, and 11-9 in favor of Mattawan here in set number 4. Cannot get through the block. Amy Jacob with the put away at the net. She sends it long though, so point to Otsego, 11-10. I thought she got that far boundary, but better vantage point is the referee. That time Amy Jacob did get the boundary and keeps the Mattawan lead at 12-10, fourth set. Jacob raises her right hand in the air. The service ace leader serving for Mattawan. That time floater over the net for the Bulldogs. Jenna Ballman with the nice touch. Caitlin Pisano takes her place on the service line. 12-11, and a little too much gas on that kill attempt by Sydney Penny for Mattawan. Point to Otsego, and we're all tied in the fourth set. Pisano on serve. 12-all, the floater, and it pays off for Dockstader. Just kind of floated it over her head on a prayer, and it worked. Great court awareness by Olivia that time. Otsego trying to float the same kind of point, and that's skied on the return by the Bulldogs. Here's Cairns with the bump. The setup. Can't quite get it down on Meininger. This is Penny. And unable to handle it are the Bulldogs. 2-point lead once again for Mattawan here in the fourth set. 14-12. Wildcats with a 2-1 lead at home over the Otsego Bulldogs. Bulldogs through the block. Mattawan, Dockstader behind her back again. Again, great court awareness. Pidney with the bump and the great block at the net by the Bulldogs. Garant rising up again for Otsego. She is persistent at the net for the Bulldogs. And the lead is cut to 1, 14-13, fourth set. CC Pilak with the put away floater. Really normally showcasing power. Great poise that time to know that all she had to do was float it over the defense for the winner. 15-13 now for Mattawan, fourth set. Bulldogs trying to return the favor. Ballman with the return, and that sails long off of Dockstader. So Bulldogs staying in this one, 15-14, fourth set. And usually the shorthand serving for Otsego. Ballman hits the tape. 16-14 now for Mattawan. And Cairns ran off consecutive points on serve. She's serving here at 16-14. Wildcats, great setup, great finish by Meininger. Rachel, the junior outside hitter, establishing some dominance through sets 2 and 3. And rising up here in set number 4, the Wildcats own a 17-14 lead, leading 2-1 over Otsego. Timeout Bulldogs. We'll take a timeout as well and be back with more of the fourth set after this on the Mattawan Volleyball Network.
You put a lot of thought into your kitchen and bath, so at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, they put a lot of care into making it just right. They've been doing it that way for over 50 years. It's names like Craftsmade, the #1 name in cabinetry that provides unmatched quality every step of the way. At Hannibal, they think quality should come standard. It's why they include a host of sought-after features at no extra cost. From traditional to contemporary, from new construction to renovation, trust Craftsmade and the experts at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, 9th Street off M43, Kalamazoo.
Volleyball with the cause being played tonight. Teams in the crowd honoring and celebrating Griffin Place. Great representatives from Griffin Place here tonight. And great volleyball on hand as the Wildcats come out of the timeout and get the point. 18-14 now. Mattawan took the first 2 sets. Otsego with set number 3. And Mattawan up now 19-14 off the finish by Kendall Kuhn. 19-14, keeping the service game alive for Ellie Cairns. Ellie with a strong service game in the first set, almost got the ace. That dug off the shoe tops for the Bulldogs and right at the libero. On the return for Mattawan, here comes Meininger directly into the chest of Ballman, and she's able to get it across. Meininger going to try it again and just gets the tape. Meininger persistent on that rally, and it pays off for her. 20-14 now in favor of Mattawan, fourth set. Wildcats up 2-1. They'll go back to Meininger. Can't finish that time. And over the block, out of bounds. On the Bulldogs, Karen stays alive here. Ellie serving 21-14, fourth set. That would be a gem for her to potentially serve this one out. We got a few points to play, though. Her team fired up to do so. And great setup on the near side. Amy Jacob hammers it home. And the Wildcats here at home open up an 8-point fourth set lead, 22-14, up 2-1. Karen's small figure, but really good spin on her serves. And that sets up her team well. Again, Meininger from the far side. That far side corner is where she likes to be. Meininger hammers it home. 23-14, now 9 points the lead for Mattawan in the fourth set. Karen's still on serve. Mattawan floats it up. Set up, this is Meininger, and it'll drop on the Wildcats side. So they'll cut off the fire hose of the Mattawan offense. Grace Blanchard now, the righty, will serve right from the center of the serving line. And Meininger tried to do it again. It's a little too much angle and a little too much pop on that one. Out of bounds, point to Otsego. Blanchard again with the service ace. So once again, the team that's trailing refuses to go away in the set. Otsego hanging tough. Mattawan 23, Otsego 17. The bump over and a double hit on Otsego. Krzyzewski checking in. Anya has game point and match point. Krzyzewski floats it far corner. The Den waking up on the far side. Trying for the kill was Kuhn. And that's it. Kendall Kuhn with the put away. And that'll do it. Mattawan takes it in 4 sets. 25-20, 25-15, 21-25, and 25-17. So 3 sets to 1 the final here tonight for the home team. Megan McCory and her team with a strong showing. Talked to her in the pregame show. She talked about how she was excited for this matchup, and it really showed how evenly matched these two teams were. Great effort tonight by the Bulldogs. Jenna Ballman really the shorthand on serve for the Bulldogs, but not enough as Mattawan takes this one 3 sets to 1. And we'll preview some coverage coming up on the Mattawan Sports Network later this week. The Mattawan football team back in action on the road against Portage Northern. Lance Caparosi and I will have that pregame coverage starting at 6:45, 7 p.m. kick. And we look forward to bringing you week number 5 action. And this was an exciting one. The Wildcats at home over the Otsego Bulldogs. 3 sets to 1. My thanks to Chad Yeager and head coach Megan McCory for the pregame interview. We'll say thank you so much for listening. We look forward to more Mattawan athletics this week. For now, we'll say thanks for listening, everybody. So long.
Listening to live coverage of the Mattawan Wildcats. Today's game is presented by Honor Credit Union, Main Street Pub, Tapper Automotive, by Hannibal Kitchen Bath Window and Door, Ruoff Mortgage, and by T-Shirt Printing Plus. The Mattawan Wildcats Network is a production of Joe Casey Media LLC. Bookmark this page on your phone, laptop, or streaming device to hear this game again on demand and all the other exclusive Mattawan